You're watching Game Club News.
Hello and welcome to the show. We're your co-hosts. My name is Sean and this is Chase.
What up?
And today we're going to be jumping straight into some news about PlayStation and Xbox. So
Both sides.
getting right into it here. Last chance to potentially get a PS5 at launch. I know this was covered earlier by us and multiple other outlets, but today, I noticed that there was another person on Reddit posting, "Hey guys, I work for the Big Red Bullseye in the electronics department. I was told some important news. They're not accepting walk-ins on launch day." I think this is important to remember that they're not going to do walk-ins, and I don't think a ton of other stores are either. I think this is going to be, due to the current situation, they're going to be doing this where you have to order online, and right here it says what they're doing is a midnight on launch day. So this is important if you want to get one. Don't miss out. Midnight on, what is it, November 12th, right? As soon as it hits, I'm assuming Eastern time, or it's going to be within your time zone. But this guy was told, and later on down, he does describe kind of that, speaking with managers and some other stuff, and that he was essentially trying to get this time because he's still trying to get one for a couple of his friends.
Right. Yeah. And I think that there's a lot of weight to this because it sounds crazy. Like somebody, it's like a new account, but he's posted before from another account, right? Like you said, he's got multiple Reddit accounts.
From what I can tell, this almost looks like a burner account that he's using to kind of provide additional information to people, inside information, if you will, without getting himself in trouble.
Yeah, and it's like when I worked in retail, it was like you could see shipments of devices weeks in advance. So it's totally not out of the realm of possibility to see the stock counts, even when they're coming in. Don't disclose that information, but I could see it, man. I don't see there's any other reason to think otherwise.
Yeah, and he did follow up down in the lower end and say that, his particular store had 40, and it looked like there were a few other people that were responding like, "Oh yeah, my store's getting 40 as well." I don't know if it's like that across all stores.
Oh, nice.
So I'm assuming there's other people that work at Target, same deal. And the original poster did say
there's only one employee at Target nationwide.
The original poster did say that he works in the electronics department and did inventory on it, and there were 40 for his store. So it sounds like there's going to be a fair bit. And I'm switching back to a tweet here. Again, this is just from 3-4 hours ago from our time, which is right around midnight Eastern, where somebody's saying, "Are you going to have PS5 systems on launch day?" And Ask Target is again confirming that on the day of the launch, the console will be available in stores with order pickup and drive-up orders only. After launch day, you may be able to purchase directly in stores. However, they do not state the time here, which again, midnight, your time zone, maybe even check Eastern. I don't know if it's going to go live for the site all at once, but I do think that this is important, and it just reaffirms and reconfirms for us that hey, if you didn't get a pre-order, you've got a chance, and you can actually do it from your couch in the comfort of your home, almost like pre-ordering. You just got to do it 8 hours before the day starts.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's like you can pre-order it the night before or the day of. I don't know what do you want to call it. It's crazy, dude. But yeah, I'm relieved because I know there's a lot of people out there that still want them, and this is good news all around.
Yeah, absolutely. Oops, hold on, that's being weird. There we go. Switching over to another tweet. Santa Monica Studios is they posted, "Whether you're picking up the game for the first time or looking to finish the new game plus save, God of War 2018 on the PS5 will offer up to 60 FPS using the favor performance video option. Save transfers start right where you left off on the PS4. And they also notate that God of War 3 Remastered saves will transfer as well, which they did say earlier. But I think this is pretty huge for me.
Yeah, it's a fantastic game. So that is awesome. The verbiage of up to, yeah.
I too am a little concerned about that. I'm hoping that it's at least close to 60. I'm hoping that Digital Foundry will do a breakdown a lot of these back compat games once the patches are available and stuff. I can say from personal experience though that leading up to this a month or two ago, I was literally like, oh man, I want to get back into this. Like, I haven't been playing PlayStation a lot. I've been on PC a lot. I want to like get that hype back.
How dare you?
And so I went to pop in God of War, wanted to play it. I really feel like the control scheme is very Soulsborne at the end of the day.
Did you pop it in? Or did you just
is
hit
actually
play?
digital? Sorry.
Yeah, all right.
But went to go play New Game Plus because I had essentially I had literally missing one trophy, and
Same.
go to play it. New Game Plus, sweet. It starts out, and I'm just sitting there looking at the screen like, this kind of hurts my eyes. Man, I know
30?
that it's like you shouldn't be like, oh, 30, it's like bad, but like for me personally, somebody that was coming from playing games at over 60 FPS realistically, there's a lot of stuff when I play Destiny, it's closer to 100. Most of the games, 60 is like the minimum. I'm shooting for way higher than that. And so to come down to 30, it was like a very harsh reality. And I was like, I don't know if I can do this. And just hoping that the PS5 would allow that because I really think that's a level of fidelity that's super important in 2020 and something that was kind of left on the wayside with the last generation because they were so focused on resolution, clarity, 4K, all this other stuff when like at the end of the day, I think, hitting 60 FPS as a minimum target is, for me personally playing games, that's what I want to do. It's the smoothest, best experience. It's something that you can't really describe or show off to somebody unless they see or play it that way and then try to go backwards. Or especially the same game, right? Like I did that with Destiny. It was was playing on PC for a while. I think I jumped on PlayStation to play with you and it was like, this is awful.
Yeah, you're like, no. I got on GeForce Now on my Mac to play with you a little bit because I was like, okay, I'll give you the frame rate. I'll take the lag.
Yeah, right.
But yeah, I if this is just like a this is gonna happen, and then maybe there'll be a patch or something further to push it, that'd be cool. But yeah, the up to 60, I'm all about it. I wish it was just like 60.
Yeah.
Can you just say
it doesn't
60?
indicate that it's like a locked performance, which is what I would like to see. But then again, we also kind of heard some weird stuff about Assassin's Creed Valhalla where they were like up to 30, but then really I think they're going to have an option for higher refresh rate and stuff. So fingers crossed anyways, right?
Yeah. And Ghost of Tsushima is going to be 60 and 4K on the PS5. I'm playing that right now. Even at 30 frames, it feels super smooth. So I can't even imagine. I'm going to be like... my head's gonna be like
I know, and it's interesting, some games that you do play that are 30 that do feel smooth. I just really can't explain it. I don't know, like normally I'm not a motion blur person, but sometimes motion blur just works to help out a lot of that stuff.
That's
but
true.
Yeah, no, I'm definitely excited for the future of consoles, and then inadvertently all gaming, right? Mobile gaming, PC. We need to drop everything below 60. We got to get everybody on hardware that can at least do 60, whether it's a graphics performance option or not. I really want to see that. So,
amen.
Moving on to the next story. This was kind of a huge one, and I guess we should have seen it coming. Destruction AllStars is coming to PlayStation Plus when it launches, which is now delayed until February, and it will be available for 2 months.
Yeah, so it'll be available for download for 2 months. It'll be in the PlayStation Plus roster. It's not just for 2 months though. A lot of people got confused by that. So like, you won't have it for 2 months and then lose it.
Well, right. But I mean, it's if you don't pick it up within the first 2 months, I think then you're gonna have to pay for it, right?
100%. Yeah, I in the comments, people were like, what do you mean? It's only available for 2 months and you have to pay for it? It's like, no, dude. It's just like any other PlayStation Plus thing. But
and they do say right here, they've moved the release from November to February, where it will be included for 2 months in PlayStation Plus at no additional cost. So this is almost like it's on top of what else you're going to be getting from PlayStation Plus, which I think on the PS5 is really the PS Plus collection or whatever they're going to call it.
Yeah, for now, until there's a bigger library, I think, of PS5 games. I don't think they're going to be throwing out Demon Souls in the first month.
So, but this being pushed back, we kind of joked about it in a previous video and definitely offline about like, who is even going to buy this game? Like
$70.
It doesn't look that interesting to me. It looks like it could be potentially fun, but again, if it's included for free, I'll totally pick it up and play it, but
I played Fall Guys.
$70
I would never play
in a game that is essentially built upon multiplayer. I think that's where it's kind of like,
a new IP, everything,
Yeah.
everything about it. It just reeks of just like, it needs to be PlayStation Plus. And I know a lot of people have said that, and I'm glad they're doing it. Like,
yeah, same.
Smart move.
And
Smart
I
move.
think it's a good idea, as much as it will suck to not have it available at launch, because I have a feeling the game was essentially ready to go. I don't think this is a delay for purpose of being like, we need more time or something.
No, it's just sitting.
I think it was smart, though, to delay it so that it gives a chance for more people to have the chance to get their PlayStation 5s for it to be included. Unless there's a caveat that you can pick it up on the PlayStation, web store without owning a PS5, maybe, but
Yeah.
I don't think it's going to be missed in the launch lineup, I'm going to be honest.
Yeah, no, same. And like with you almost feel like looking at the title and it requiring an online community to really grow and be successful, like Rocket League, that came out on PlayStation as a PlayStation Plus game, and that blew up. And then same with Fall Guys, blew up. Like, I don't think anybody would spend $20 on Fall Guys. Maybe some would, but like, it's not like a big, huge release, right? So this game, $70 plus needing an entire online community.
And I think the thing that
it just makes sense.
And I think the thing that really helps these games like Fall Guys and Rocket League and stuff, when like, especially for console releases like this, that even if you miss out, right? Like, let's say you don't get a PlayStation 5, you weren't able to get it, whatever, until March or April. There might be some allure to Destruction AllStars because there may be a big enough fan base by then, right? You might find all those niche people that love this game, and they're gonna love streaming it.
It could be
talking
super
about
fun
it and all this other stuff, right? Like, but you need that established base, right? Somebody's not just gonna go spend $70 on a whim because the game looks fun. I'm sorry, because it doesn't really.
Right. It looks like it would be fun with a bunch of friends, but then you'd have to convince all of your friends to spend $70. And assuming you have friends.
And I kind of think the same thing for Fall Guys, for Among Us, which I'm pretty sure is also free or extremely cheap, where it's like, I watch stuff on that, I'm like, it looks okay, but it's really about the social interaction and the multiplayer portion, and if that wasn't there to sell it, I don't think it would be as popular as it is.
Yeah, and that game came out 2 years ago. Now it's a big deal.
Right.
So, but yeah, good move, smart move. I feel like they knew it was going to be PlayStation Plus, and they would have felt bad selling it for $70 at launch, and then 2 months later been like, surprise!
Yep, yeah. So the last story that we're going to cover today is going to be on Xbox. If you happen to be a PlayStation only person, you can feel free to exit out if you don't want to watch this. Try and give us a like to let us know you like the content, but we're going to move on with this. Oh, I started the video in the wrong spot. Here we go. So there was
it's all good.
Xbox released a NextGen walkthrough. So they did a full-on walkthrough of the system here, where they go from booting it up to switching through games, giving you the full kind of gamut of what it's like. It pops open to the home screen.
Full user experience.
You get the animated backgrounds and the new tiling system for the home. They swap between new games, old games, show off auto HDR, a bunch of other stuff. I was very impressed. That I'll just start with
Same.
that. Like,
I think that their presentation, I really liked it. Like, I liked the casual kind of approach. I think it worked, man.
Yeah.
Like, I know that we had some criticisms for Sony's showcase of the PS5 UI because it was very like doctored setup. It was fine. It got the information across. I'm not complaining. I'm not being that guy. But the way Microsoft has been approaching it has been a little bit more like real. It's not a controlled environment. I mean, it is, but like, somebody's using the controller. There's no edits. It's just, he's hitting the buttons. It's happening on the screen. I'm seeing him doing it. He's holding the controller. He's explaining it. Dude's asking questions. It was solid.
Yeah.
Like, going through
I
it
also
all.
thought it was really nice that rather than showing like screen capture, which I mean they do, and of course as I say that they directly go into it, but that they're showing it on a TV, right? Like, I feel like they went kind of out of their way to make sure that like hey, it's these systems that are plugged up. He walks up, hits the power button, TV boots up. Later on in the video, when they're talking about the expansion drive, the guy is like, oh, let me do the honors, and he plugs it in, and with just a couple of seconds, boom, all the games access is there. I feel like overall I was very impressed, and it does seem like a very casual kind of take on everything, which is really nice. Like it just feels like two people talking to each other, you know, kind of like us having a conversation.
It's like Game Club. It's Game Club right here. The one thing I did like at the jump, they were like, these are the retail units you will receive on day one. I thought that was really nice because it's like, it's very easy to be like, oh, these are pre-production units. Like, well, maybe it's not going to work like that, or maybe it's a dev kit under the table. But it's really, it was refreshing. I'm going to be honest. I have a PS5 pre-ordered. I don't have an Xbox pre-ordered. Don't judge me. But I thoroughly enjoyed this, even though it's showing things that I may not experience for some time because I don't have an Xbox. But I liked it.
Right. Well, and even for me, somebody that's like, you know, I primarily play most of my games on PC unless it is a console exclusives, and I'm in the PC Game Pass Ultimate whatever subscription. Microsoft has got me sold on their stuff, even if I'm not playing their games. Right? It's just nice to have that.
It's a great deal
for somebody that's already invested in their ecosystem and not getting a Series X or Series S at launch. I really don't have any super future plans. It's one of those things where I figure that I will own them at some point. I currently have an Xbox One X that is primarily used by my kids, and that will be still fine for them on the TV in the basement. But it was really nice to see all these features and things, and it kind of has me excited for that, like, time when I do get one and be like, man, this just like there's something about it that just feels very next gen.
By then it could look completely different with the way they update their stuff.
Well, and there's a lot of stuff I'm interested in too, where like they talk about auto HDR, which they're going over in Subnautica right now, where like HDR is essentially applied to games, even older games like Fusion Frenzy and Geometry Wars.
I love that they mentioned that. I love that they mentioned
these old games that were never designed around it. They add this HDR, you know, layer over it, so to speak. That's not really how it works, but just trying to give a good picture. But, you know, they add this giant color space to it, and nobody has to do anything. Developers don't have to take any action. This is like auto done by an AI, and Microsoft has even said that it's on a case per case basis. It's not like auto HDR does X to all games. It's like it's tuned for every single game, and if there's a game where they feel that it blows out the whites too much, or they can't get it tuned, they're just not going to have it available, which I think is really cool. So that means that they're going over a catalog of thousands of games with some AI, and somebody's reviewing this to make sure that this auto HDR feature works, which I feel like means that it's going to work pretty well. And everything that Digital Foundry has talked about it, and everything that we've seen from what I can tell on, you know, my HDR phone screen, is that it looks very promising for, you know, making older games feel new without developers having to go back and do anything.
Yeah, and I think that that's huge, especially for these Xbox OG Xbox releases like Fusion Frenzy and stuff like that. Like, that was a launch title, and they're bringing it up as a launch title for the Xbox Series X, man. Like, it's just like full circle, man.
Right. And their ability to kind of tout that, and I think they even say that they're like, you know, with a launch catalog of thousands of games, and it's like, again, I think everybody always thinks like, oh, next gen means new games,
only next games.
Whereas like some of these games that are getting next gen updates, like Gears of War 5, it's just running the PC version at ultra settings. It's not like,
and he said that too. I thought that was great. He was like, we're using the PC ultra settings textures.
Right. And it's not unheard of, right? It's like that. It's next gen. It's current gen. It's it's so hard to explain. But I really love the way that they're really coming more into the PC world, where like I can still go and get like OG Doom and Wolfenstein and games from, you know, the 90s and early 2000s, or Half-Life, or, you know, whatever. And
Commander Keen.
People update them, or, you know, the graphics that you have, you're able to run these games at like stuff that wasn't even possible back then. And I really think that that's a really cool feature, to just be like, yeah, this is your catalog of games of Xbox stuff. Here you go. You don't need an older console.
No, like one machine to rule them all. You know what I mean? Like it's and I did also want to say about like how they have the card for their control center, their guide or whatever. It's a really fresh, clean Microsoft style take on that experience, because like I was telling you earlier, like I like how Sony's is a little bit more, it's more fun and it's up and, you know, all up in this business, but like the organization of that whole experience on the Xbox looks really clean, and I like it. Like I really do. I think it's a really nice look. They differentiate themselves enough to be two completely separate platforms, but it seems like they're more similar than people think.
Yeah.
In many ways, not the auto HDR and the crazy stuff like that. That's Xbox, but you know what
right.
I mean?
Well, and the one thing that I do like with their layout, and I've noticed ever since because they've updating all UIs, and essentially older Xbox Ones will get this same layout minus the animated backgrounds, but the way it's structured, where it's like, hey, here's your home and games you've been playing recently, quick access to your whole library, and an easy visual way to see that. Here's Game Pass. If you've got that, you can just click on that, and here's all the games. You want to download them, let them rip. Like it kind of gives you this like ease of access, I feel like, to everything. It's just like, hey, here's all the stuff you want to do on one page, and then you can drill down into each of these other things to get more stuff.
And now that you're mentioning that too, it's like that's something that we didn't see on the PS5 UI reveal. We didn't see drilling beyond the home screen and in-game.
Right. We didn't see the store. We didn't see folders. We didn't see the settings. We didn't see...
Dude, did they get rid of folders again?
I don't know, man. It's so crazy.
Dude, like if I have to wait another 3 or 4 years to get folders back on the... I don't want to get into it. We'll save it for a rant for a podcast. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah. So yeah, I think that this was pretty exciting. It was really nice to see from Microsoft, them just kind of show off and tout all of these different things. Maybe tout isn't even the right word, but just kind of be able to go over this from like a very casual perspective. Be like, here's what we're able to do, and how simple and easy everything is. Right? I really think that Microsoft is leaning more into this like ease of access and ease of use thing. Because even when they talk about their Xbox platform, everybody's like, nobody plays Xbox or whatever you want to say. But when they say Xbox platform, they're talking about Xbox Ones, Xbox Series, PC, mobile on xCloud, like
Game Pass.
They have this they're covering a lot of bases.
Right, and then even with this whole showcase, they showed the app and how it's integrated with the console, and then also remote play. Like, I know that I made the joke earlier, dynamic themes and remote play. It's like PlayStation had it first. It's like, I'm joking. It doesn't matter, right? Like, it's just funny. But that's awesome, man. Like, I think that's cool. Like, I think every console could benefit from remote play, except the Switch because it is remote.
Yeah.
You know, but it's cool, man. I was thoroughly impressed. I will say that for somebody who has no horse in that race, or any purchasing plans in the near future. Sweet.
Yeah, no, I agree. I felt, I'll say pretty much exactly the same way, where it was very nice to see, and it kind of just gives this like clean finishing touch to Xbox. And it'll be nice to see where this kind of evolves over the next couple of years, with the, starting with this console, and see where they're able to take stuff with backwards compatibility, because we know that that's huge for them, as well as like next gen and just features in general and what's available on Game Pass. And we've got a lot of exciting titles coming from their first party studios. So be on the lookout.
Got a lot of first party studios.
Yes, they do. Yes, they do.
We'll see.
So that's it. This was quite a bit longer episode today, but there was a lot of news to cover, and we wanted to kind of give a little bit deeper dive into some of these things. We've recently got our website up, gameclubcoalition.com. You can go there to that's going to be our home base to our Facebook and YouTube, as well as we're getting podcasts set up on both iTunes or Apple platform and Spotify. So check us out there if that's your thing and you're into listening at work. I just want to say thanks everybody for the great responses. If you're new here and you've made it this far, consider giving us a like, sharing us with a friend, leaving a comment down below, possibly even giving a subscribe. We're just a few subscribers away from hitting that 100 mark, so we can get a custom URL I just got to say this has been a lot of fun, and look forward to doing this more in the future.
Absolutely. And yeah, just keep us in your circle, man. Like, we've always got something new to report.
Yeah, and we love having conversations with other people, so don't be afraid to interact. Put the comments down. We're gonna talk as fast as we can get to it. We're gonna swing back around that, or come to our Facebook page and we can have discussions about what games are good or what are not.
We should probably set up a Discord eventually, but we'll get there.
Time.
Time.
Until then, Game Club signing off.
Game Club signing off.